Hello there, I'm privileged to be interviewing the owner of a remarkable accountancy practice, Paul Meades of Meades and Co. Hello Paul.
Hi Shane.
Hiya. Paul's practice has been featured in this book designed to help business owners find the kind of accountant that will really serve them in ways many accountants simply don't, by focusing on much more than producing accounts and management information. Accountants who qualify in this book have a proven track record for helping the businesses that they work with by both measuring and improving the numbers that really matter to them, helping those businesses become much more successful and enjoyable to run. Paul, you're an AVN accountant. Tell me a little bit more about how that benefits the businesses that you work with.
There's lots of different ways. To summarise, our clients benefit from fixed fees. We guarantee never to give any surprise bills. But what's really important is we offer a lot of added value advice, and it's proactive advice. I have regular meetings with clients, and I sit on their boards and talk about strategic planning for their businesses. In fact, I've got a little analogy to use, if you don't mind. If we think about a traditional accounting practice, perhaps in the guise of this type of mobile phone, a Nokia that you probably remember from a few years gone by, I kind of see that this service is what a traditional firm does. You know, it'll make calls, maybe a text. It's quite an old phone. However, we're as a practice, we're much more like this type of phone, and we basically offer a lot more service to business owners. So we tend to work with a fewer number of clients to give them those additional services.
That's a great analogy, Paul. You still provide the core services, but you deliver so much more as a result, and help people with so many other aspects. That's a great analogy to make. Brilliant. Could you give me a specific example of where you've maybe helped a business owner in ways that a traditional accountant may not have even got that involved?
Yes, I can. I can think of a client that we started working with back in 2009. They were in a bit of a dire position, to be honest with you. Negative balance sheet, making losses. Bank were looking to pull funding from them. They were in a lot of trouble, and unfortunately, the business owner and his family had actually put their own personal assets on the line as well. And we started working with them, and we immediately then started having monthly meetings. I was acting effectively as a quasi finance director to the business, so we started producing monthly management information and really getting underneath the business, because it appeared at the outset that there was a solid business model there, and it was a case of why wasn't it working. And it took a long time to go through that process. But we uncovered an awful lot of mistakes. We made lots of changes, and we were able to make them quickly and proactively as we were going along, because I was regularly touching base and meeting the director in this case. I think we started working with them in 2009, and about 5 years later, we actually enabled them to be completely free of the chains from the bank lending that they had at that time. In fact, we moved them to a different bank, which was even more favourable, and they enabled the guarantees they'd given over their personal assets to actually be removed at that point, which of course gave them lots of peace of mind. And we've now got to the point where, funnily enough, I'm actually going through like the whole spectrum with this client, because we're actually now up for sale at the moment, and I'm assisting this business in actually to go through the whole sale process. So I've been having lots of meetings with prospective acquirers, etc. And we're hoping to achieve an 8-figure sale sum, because the director has now actually reached his retirement age, the age that he's happy to retire at. And I'm hoping that in the next sort of year or so, we'll actually come to that conclusion, which will have meant that I've actually taken the business all the way through from where it really was in a poor state to actually helping the owner to exit.
That's a brilliant example, and the potential sell value speaks volumes about what you've helped them with as well, doesn't it? That's brilliant. Paul, why are you going that extra mile for people?
Okay, I think, to be honest with you, it's quite simple. We've recognised that if we can make our clients successful, then the inherent result is going to be that we're successful. And that's ultimately what I want to be, because I'm a business owner too. I know I have a business that is an accountancy practice, but ultimately I'm an owner. and therefore I share the same pains and issues that other business owners feel. And clients are the lifeblood of our business. So if we can make them successful, then we're going to be successful too.
Brilliant. What are the kind of clients that you really enjoy working with, Paul?
We like to work with business owners that are open-minded, that recognise that there's new ways of working, new ways of thinking, and that actually by working closely with a trusted advisor, they can gain from my knowledge, my experience that I have from all the years I've been working and all of the different clients that I've seen be successful and not be successful and lots in between. So if they're open-minded, that really helps. Ideally, we like to work with businesses that have got a turnovers sort of from about 500,000 up to about 10 million. That tends to be our sort of sweet spot. But if there are smaller businesses than that are looking to grow, then that's very much part of our target market as well. So that type of business owner is ideal for us.
That sounds fantastic. So let's say I fit that description and I'm watching this interview right now and I think I'd really like to learn a little bit more about how Paul could help me in my business. What's the best next step that I could take right now?
Okay, the simple step really would be to contact me. You see, I'm a great believer that face-to-face meetings are the best way to get to know people. That's why we're doing this live over video rather than you just listening to my voice. And if we have a simple, no obligation meeting, then I can get a measure of how much we might be able to help you as a business owner, and you can get a very much better understanding of what it is that we do and how we operate as a company. And just as a thank you, I'd be happy then to give anybody that I met up with a free copy of my book, Simple Building Blocks to Grow Your Business, which I hope you can see. Or somebody can buy it on Amazon, of course.
Well, that's a great gesture, and it sounds like a really good next step. So just give you a ring, and what we'll do is we'll put your number at the bottom of this screen as well, so that people can do that really easily. And yeah, that sounds great. And on the subject of books, I mean, it's fantastic you've written your own. I notice also, in addition to featuring in this book, that you also feature in the world's most inspiring accountants as well. So
Yes.
You're clearly a very inspiring accountancy practice to work to.
We try to be.
Paul, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate the interview.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Shane. Good to see you.
And you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
And thank you for listening to. I'm Shane Lukas. I'm Managing Director of AVN, a business that works with the UK's most forward-thinking accountants who are committed to helping owner-managed businesses become the most successful and enjoyable to run. Bye-bye for now.